So, let's do that one. I think I have a feeling this one's gonna be a lot of fun. We are going to have much to say on this. Okay? So, let us see what movie could be over in 10 minutes if the main character wasn't a fucking idiot. Shall we? Let you damn you.
What movie could have been over in 10 minutes if the main character wasn't such a fool? Don't swim to the drop-off. Nemo. Okay, Dad.
What?
Credits. That was the...
What? Okay, I'm sorry. I do not kill me. I have never seen Finding Nemo. I have never in my life seen Finding Nemo, so I do not get this. Someone please kindly explain to me what this means. Like, does Nemo swim to like a drop-off and get like sucked down into a drop-off and blown away, and that's why his dad has to spend the entire movie trying to find Nemo? Dad told him to swim not to sea, then he did and was caught by a fisherman. Okay. Again, Nemo is basically comparatively speaking how old in this movie? Like, I got the impression Nemo was basically like a grade schooler. Like, grade school type age, okay? Okay, so he's like a 5-year-old. Yeah, okay, yeah, here it is. The most predictable reaction for a kid of his age, though. You know? I know, but it's okay. Benefit of the doubt. All right, let's see what the next person says, though, because this person's saying kind of like what I was thinking, like it's the most predictable reaction for a kid of his age, though.
The most predictable reaction for a kid his age, though. Mullen shouldn't have put him down in front of his new friends and been so rude about his fin. That should have been a private conversation. Exactly. Nemo was always going to swim off because Mullen was overprotective for his entire life and putting him down when he wasn't otherwise going to swim out was the final straw. Conversely, Mullen was always going to do that because he lost his wife and kids to the barracuda and wanted to protect his only remaining son. What I'm saying is free will doesn't exist, but seriously, this question sometimes misses the fact that characters' actions, though sometimes stupid, may be consistent with who the characters are.
This is true.
But then we would have never seen him touch that butt. Now would just lead to a different kind of film where an angsty child rebels in a different way, paints himself black.
Can be stupid.
This is true. This is alas true.
With Squid Ink, acts depressed and listens to bands like My Nautical Romance and Fall Out Boy. I present to you, Nemo the Emo.
The man content is so good. This is good. Okay, tanned croissant. This is beautiful. I love this. This tanned croissant just took us on a trip, and I am here for it. That is fucking great.
Finding Emo. Jurassic Park if Hammond actually spared no expense.
Oh, here we go.
Hammond.
Yeah, if Hammond had actually paid Dennis Nedry, what, like, you know, if he actually treated Dennis Nedry right and didn't fuck him over. Granted, we don't know in the movie what Dennis Nedry did to get so pissed off at John because, you know, John said that he doesn't blame people for their mistakes, but he does expect them to pay for it. If he'd had more, Selene, yes. If he'd had more than a skeleton crew for the entire fucking island full of goddamn dinosaurs. Yes, but Jonathan Ortiz, that's the big difference. We did do like a difference between the book and the movie. And yes, in the books, John Hammond was a piece of shit. And Revan, we literally just started. Don't worry, you got here just in time. Just started. In the books, John Hammond was a complete and utter fucking asshole who literally only cared about money. They changed that though, and so they made John Hammond in the movie a kindly old grandpa. And that was the big change. So it's the whole thing with Dennis kind of didn't really fit quite right because John Hammond was such a kindly old grandpa in the movie. In the book, it made sense because John Hammond was an asshole, a big time asshole. So that made sense. But yeah, spared no expense. So he didn't have a fully staffed island and left it in only a skeleton crew when the hurricane came in. He didn't anticipate hurricanes, so he didn't set up protections in place when a hurricane fucking hit. You're in a tropical fucking island. You get hurricanes in the tropical islands all the fucking time. Why don't you have protective measures in place in the event of a tropical hurricane? Now, in terms of, okay, redundant power grid, yes, tornado, agree, have some redundant systems in place for the power grid. However, in terms of the someone called out like IT, having having better IT in place, you do have to remember, you do have to recall that this was the 90s. We cannot think of IT in 2020's mindsets when we're talking about the 90s. It was a very, like, computers worked very differently back when Jurassic Park came out versus the way we use them today. It is completely different operating systems. So, he was, I believe it was Atlantic, not Pacific, Kaibo. Because this was, Isla Sorna was, I think, off the coast of Costa Rica. I think. I'm reasonably sure Isla Sorna, if I remember correctly, was in the Costa Rica region, so it was the Atlantic, not the Pacific. So yeah, this was an area that is frequent. What? It was off the coast of Costa Rica. That's Atlantic, not Pacific. And yeah, correct. It was not Linux. It was Unix. Yeah, 207 miles off Costa Rica. That's Atlantic, not Pacific. Yeah. So yeah, in terms of the IT, no. But in terms of like everything else on the island, staff, redundant systems in place for the hardware, such as the power grid, having actual fucking weapons, like actually having armed guards when you've got a goddamn T-Rex and Velociraptors and Dophosauruses and God knows what other carnivores we didn't see in the movie. Like, yes, spare no expense would have made you have a fuckload more staff. Well, and how easily you got out of a cage just from the power going out. Yeah, how about you actually have some good structural engineering on your fucking cages that are not solely reliant upon that being electrified in order to keep someone in? So, yeah, I know. Well, I mean, even in the book, they didn't have all that much. Well, actually, here's the interesting thing, okay? The movie did not have a lot of people. The book did. That's the kind of thing, that's the thing about with the book. The staff actually were, like, they had a lot of staff in the book, and they were actually rounding up the dinosaurs and getting them back into their pens in the book. So that's one thing, like, in the book, they did have a lot of personnel. The movie, it was literally like the only people, the movie treated like the only people left on the island were those in the control room and those out on the tour, and that's it. Those were the only people left on the whole fucking island, which is batshit insane. The book is not so with the book. The book actually had a lot of staff, and the book actually, in the book, the staff actually did take back the island and get the dinosaurs loaded back into their cages and penned back up again. So there was a lot more staff in the book versus the movie. So it's a big difference between the two. I'm going on the assumption that this is, well, it's in the title, but they're going by the movie. So in the movie, have actual staff in there. Like, have adequate staff, even in the event of the hurricane. You have an island full of fucking dinosaurs. Do you have adequate staff, even with the dinosaurs?
Spared no expense. 15 minutes later, I told you how many times we needed locking mechanisms on vehicle doors. How the F do you have a T-Rex but not locks on the car doors?
Yep.
Because they can't reach the door handles with their tiny arms. Don't.
Okay. This right here makes me think of, oh god, what was that movie? It was a Pixar movie. I cannot remember what it was called. But it was, one of the lines, it had T-Rex wear it. No, not Toy Story. The one line I'm thinking of is a T-Rex had a mind control hat on it. The bad guy, Meet the Robinsons. Thank you, Jack. Yes, Meet the Robinsons. The T-Rex has the mind control hat on it. And the bad guy's like, how could you not catch him? And the T-Rex goes, because I have a big head and little tiny arms. Was it Disney? Was it straight Disney? I thought it was a Pixar thing. Yeah. That's what it made me think of. Yeah, I don't think this plan is very well thought out. Yes. That's what made me think of immediately. And then of course Rude Morg saying don't stiff your IT guys. But again, like the whole thing of like don't stiff your IT guys is supposedly, like, they alluded to Dennis Nedry did something that cost Hammond money, and Dennis Nedry maybe was getting garnished for it, but it's only alluded to. We don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if that ever came about in the books. If the, I don't know if that translated into the books. It's been a while since I read the book, so I don't know if Dennis did something that John Hammond was demanding he pay for, thus caused him to get pissed off at Hammond. I don't remember, but yeah.
Stiff your it guys. Also don't put all your it into one guy basket.
Yes.
Aladdin.
Yes. That. Don't basically put all of your IT into one fucking guy. You're running a park. You should have a literal fucking team of IT guys. Not one fucking guy that is your sole IT person. Big mistake. Is that what it was, Bobcat? Like I said, it's been a while since I've read the book. He was trying to scam Hammond. Okay.
Don't put all your it into one guy basket. Aladdin. If Jafar would have just paid Aladdin what he promised him instead of betraying him at the cave, he would have had the lamp and become King Be Mighty.
Yeah. He's exactly right. Because what did Jafar, Jafar offered him some riches. If he just okay, actually, hang on. Jafar didn't promise to pay Aladdin anything. There is a problem with this logic. There's a problem with this logic, though. He never promised to pay Aladdin anything specific in money. He just said, if you help me go to this cave, you can take all the riches you want from this cave. The problem is, if Aladdin did do that, he still wouldn't have gotten the lamp because the lamp would have caved in. Yeah. So, yeah, basically, Zeb, it was, he basically said he could have any of the riches out of the cave as long as he got the lamp. The problem is, the moment any of the riches got touched, the cave would collapse and Jafar wouldn't have gotten the lamp anyway. So it's not like he could have paid him. So it kind of wouldn't have worked. And I suspect that if he got the lamp out of there, the cave would then recede anyway. So and try to get through that whole cave without touching anything. Because theoretically speaking, the cave should have collapsed the moment Aladdin touched the carpet. The moment Aladdin or Apu touched the magic carpet, the cave should have collapsed. Because the spirit of the cave said, touch nothing but the lamp. And they touched the carpet. Zed, if it's in the Cave of Wonders, I would count it as treasure. I would still count. The carpet is in the Cave of Wonders, regardless of whether it's sentient or not. The spirit did not say touch nothing non-sentient but the lamp. It literally said touch nothing but the lamp, which means don't fucking touch anything. They touched the carpet. So, yeah, it's the lamp. I think everything that was supposed to be in that cave was in that cave. Well, so wait, I mean, now we're talking semantics on that. Let's see what else they got on this.
Aladdin just wanted his money in return for the lamp. For real. It's not like Aladdin would have been able to do anything about Jafar using the lamp, right? But no. Jafar is the basest sort of villain. He's a lowly troll. He simply cannot resist an opportunity to screw someone over for his own sadistic amusement, even when it is directly counterproductive. He wasted time trying to get Aladdin to give up his only leverage when he could have just pulled the man up and completed the deal. Something else that has always bothered.
Wait, I'm trying to remember. Hang on a second. I'm trying to remember the scene. But Kevin, it didn't say that they had to be the ones to actively touch. Anyway, we're getting off track there. I'm trying to remember in my head the scene where Aladdin is trying to get out of the cave, and Jafar is saying, "Give me the lamp." What was Aladdin asked? Oh yeah, Aladdin was asking him to just give him his hand. Yeah, okay. So. This was the stupid part. If Jafar had simply just, instead of focusing on getting the lamp, if he just yoinked Aladdin up with the lamp, then Aladdin would be out. He could stab Aladdin, take the lamp, job done. Because we knew that he had no problem stabbing people. Like, if he had literally just yanked Aladdin up out of the cave, and then while Aladdin's laying there panting for breath, Jafar just kind of goes, no, doesn't actually monologue when he pulls the fucking knife and just goes, stab. Job done. Job done. Lamp is hit, lamp is Jafar's, Jafar wins, game over. Like, that's gonna be one of the biggest things with, like, all of these Disney ones, the biggest problem with the villain is they fucking monologue all the damn time. If Jafar had not wasted time monologuing and just yoinked Aladdin out of the cave when he had the chance, like let Aladdin hold on to the lamp with one hand, grab his other hand and yoinked, and just pulled Aladdin out of there, he could have easily just killed Aladdin, taken the lamp, and win. Yeah, exactly, Rud. That's with the Incredibles, they took that they took that idea and just kind of flipped it on its head because of that.
Bothered me is that if Jafar can take the lamp and get 3 wishes before it is returned to Aladdin, it would seem like Aladdin could have let Jasmine have 3 wishes before setting the genie free. She could.
Yes, I have thought this as well. Like seriously, when after Jafar is defeated, they get the lamp back. Aladdin has 1 wish still. But Jasmine hasn't made any wishes. The Sultan hasn't made any wishes. Fucking Apu hasn't made any wishes, and Apu was sentient enough that he could have made wishes. Like, they could have, like, the whole thing, like, I always thought this, like, at the end it's like, oh, he needs to be a prince in order to marry Jasmine. They literally could have given Jasmine the lamp.
This entry isn't quite the main character being stupid, it's the villain being stupid.
Well, the ending part that I'm talking about is the main character. But this part is. This part. This part is the main character part here, although this is technically the end of the movie. They could have given it to Jazz. No, well, I mean, Zeb, you know, given my proclivities. No, but seriously, like they could have Jasmine could have said, I wish for Aladdin to be a prince again. I wish for my kingdom to be, a free and prosperous place. And then Aladdin could say, Genie, you're free. I mean, granted, they had to do the lesson of follow your heart. Don't be reliant upon, stupid archaic rules, etc., etc. Yes, I know Robin Williams is a national treasure. I'm very aware of this. Wait, why didn't that work? Oh, fuck, I forgot to turn him on. I have to actually refund the points. I forgot to turn it on again. Sorry. I completely forgot to turn that on. Dang it! Refund the points on that actually. I don't know if they're bound as punishment or not. I don't recall. I cannot recall based upon the lore. So I'm not sure. But anyway, that's my theory. Is yes, the genie was like a slave. But think about it. What do you think the genie would have had a problem taking 5 minutes to make Aladdin a prince again? Make Jasmine's kingdom a wonderful place and then get free? Do you think he would have? This is the genie, okay? He's best friends with Aladdin. Do you think he would have had a problem waiting 5 fucking minutes? This is a being of phenomenal cosmic power. And you don't think he would have been cool with just like 5 minutes of, okay, let's make Aladdin a prince again. Let's make the kingdom wonderful. Cool, now I'm free. You know? Seriously. Or, yeah. Yeah. Why could the genie, after being freed, here's the other one. Why, after Aladdin set the genie free, Genie was still a being of phenomenal semi-cosmic power. The genie was still semi-cosmically powerful. Why couldn't the genie make Aladdin a prince again once he was free? He wasn't cosmically powerful, but he was still semi-cosmically powerful. So why couldn't he make Aladdin a prince again once he was free? Huh? Huh? Explain it to me. Uh-huh. Yeah, the prince thing was literally people just calling him a prince, and he had a fuck ton of money. That's it. Well, that's probably that. I think I heard about that theory before. Is that he was like guiding fate with it or something like that? Yeah. Well, yeah, the Sultan waived that part after Aladdin freed him. Oh no, he wouldn't. I don't think he was, Victor. I don't think he was, because don't forget, after he freed him, that's when the Sultan retracted the rule that the princess has to marry a prince. It was after that happened that the genie kind of went, oh, big group hug, and then like skyrocketed out of there. It was after that. Anyway, moving on.
Could have ended poverty and made sure a grabber's harvests were always bountiful. The Visit. Kids, we're going to visit.
Okay, how many of you seen The Visit? I've only seen The Visit in review format. I've not seen the full movie. Okay, so The Visit was an M. Night Shyamalan movie where a woman sends her kids to go visit her estranged parents. And the kids get there and chat. I want one. I want one. Put it in my mouth. Put it in my mouth, Chad. The Beach actually came out a couple years ago. The one that came out recently was The Watchers, and that was Shyamalan's daughter or something. Yeah, so the visit was this woman sends her 2 kids to go visit her parents, who she is very estranged from. This woman has not, like, spoken to her parents in years because, she ran off with a guy that they disapproved of. And so she sends them by train to go visit with her parents to reconnect with them. Well, she goes off and fucks around in, like, Florida or something to act like a college kid, to go on, like, spring break. The kids get there, and the grandparents act weird. And they, they just act weirder and weirder as a cruise. I forget what it is. The grandparents are acting, like, weirder and weirder as the days progress. And to the point where, like, the grandmother at night is, like, racing up and down the halls and acting, like, really fucking creepy. And the grandfather's acting, like, really creepy too. Like, it's just a creep fest, basically. So there's a lot of it's a very, like, Shyamalan did a lot of, like, tension to build up with it. And in the end, it turns out that the 2 grandparents are actually escaped mental patients. Like, they're like 2 escaped homicidal mental patients. They've been killing people that have been, like, people from the hospital that have been looking for them. Because the grandparents actually volunteered at this mental hospital. So these mental patients busted out, killed the grandparents, and assumed their identities. And the problem is, close to the very first day, the grandmother messes up the daughter's web camera on her laptop. Here's the problem. At no time do the kids, when they have, like, Skype calls with their mother, even though the mother can't see because the web camera's blocked, at no point do the kids go, Mom, Grandma and Grandpa are acting really fucking weird. Is this normal? Because the mom's just like, oh, they're all this blah, blah, blah. But they never ever say, like, look, they're acting like fucking psychopathic and say what's happening. Because if they did, the mom would instantly go, okay, that's not right. The mom never asks questions. Like, they never... it's like... And during the Skype call, the mom never says, hey, can I talk to Grandma and Grandpa? When they're having the Skype call, Mom never says, hey, can I talk to them too? Not once. She's too... They act like the mother's too busy getting drunk and acting like a college sorority girl. It's just the level of communication is no. I tell you, she wasn't. That's the point. She was not. They just, like, supposedly she's, like, at least a decent mother, but she acted like a complete shitbag, like, not caring. She was like, yeah, Mom was acting like a fucking teenager on spring break. But it's like the communication's, like, they'll probably go into it here, was really fucking bad. What? Okay, Seb, it would make sense except this woman sent her 2 children to go visit them alone. When you are a mother and you send your 2 children, young teens, to go visit Grandma and Grandpa, and they say Grandma and Grandpa are acting weird, you as the parent say, let me talk to Grandma and Grandpa. But nope, that never even happened. And by weird shit, I'm talking about Grandpa sitting in the barn with a fucking shotgun in his mouth. Okay? So, yeah, it's just... The whole problem with the visit, like, Shyamalan banked on all of it coming from a very, very, very piss-poor lack of communication. That, let's face it, Shyamalan does not do human interactions good. Well, Brainhouse, he has a point. It's, Amy's a terrible person. She was. Amy was a terrible person. Absolutely. Because yes, I've seen his review on the Ruins. But yeah, that's the thing. Shyamalan never does human communications well in any of his movies. His dialogue in all of his movies is horrendous.
The art of really bad movie making.
But that's Shyamalan. Apparently people like that.
Our grandparents. Mom, I don't want you to go, but if you feel like you really want to go, I'll drive you to their house. Mom, hey, you're late. My parents. I'm calling the police. The end.
Okay. Didn't her parents live like a state or two away? This doesn't work because if memory serves, the parents lived like a full state away or something. That's why they took the train. Yeah, it wasn't this like, I'll drive you to their house. No, it's like they lived like it was like 1 or 2 states away. And so the kids took a train. The kids, they were like early mid-teens. That's about early or mid-teens, I'd say. Yeah, but Zeb, when you have like commuter passenger trains that are frequently used, because this was like I think this was New York, if I'm not mistaken. How did the kids get to the station? The grandparents met them at the station, Leo. Yeah, the grandparents actually met the kids at the train station. So, like, the kids taking the train is not... The kids taking the train there is not so unusual. I mean, theoretically, Zeb, the whole thing was I think she put the kids on the train and then she was catching her flight immediately after. I think. I cannot recall exactly. But this one, we just spent 20, 30 minutes talking about this and going in more depth than this one post. So, you're here. I'm disappointed at you.
The Ring. Girl 1.
Oh, God.
Hey, do you wanna watch the tape that kills you in 7 days? Girl
No.
2. No thanks.
This one... Okay. No, I'm sorry. I don't buy this one, though. But the girl 1. Hey, do you want to watch the tape that kills you in 7 days? Where girl 1 is, yeah, it was a myth. There was not, like, yeah, nobody actually believed it. Girl 1 did not actually believe that it was, like, one of those internet myths. It was like probably considered like a copy pasta. No one actually believed it would happen. This doesn't work. Sorry, no, this one does not work. Yes, Zed, I realize that, but there has to be some logic behind this. I'm sorry, I'm injecting logic into it even if there shouldn't be. I'm injecting logic into it based upon the facts of the movie. I will do it, you can't stop me. There.
Not a movie, but 13 Reasons Why. The effing kid just couldn't listen to the damn tapes. It's literally the first thing she tells him. It's what everyone repeats to him a million times. He runs around, asking PPL instead of listening to the tapes.
Wait, what? What is 13 Reasons Why? What is the... Is this a TV show? Oh, I've never heard of it. Oh, it's an edgy Netflix show. So... Basically... He's given some tapes to listen to, and he doesn't do it, and just runs around asking people things instead of listening to tapes. It's about a girl that offs herself and leaves tapes behind to be listened to and post guilt trips. Huh. Okay. So I'm guessing if he'd listened to the tapes, he wouldn't have wanted to self-delete or something. I don't fucking know. I've never even heard of this show, so... Yeah, it does sound depressing, Briar. That's why we're going to continue.
Psst. Imperial Officer 1. There goes another one.
Here we go.
Imperial Officer 2. Hold your fire. There's no life forms. Imperial Officer 1. We're looking for an inanimate set of plans in a galaxy full of sentient robots. Imperial Officer 2. Oh
yeah.
Right.
Fire.
Written and directed by George.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, we're looking for, you know, things. You don't think that that the princess could have like planted those plans inside the escape pod and then fired it off just so it would be off the fucking ship, and which she's hoping that someone will intercept it? No, you see a fucking escape pod, and you're the Empire, you blast the fucking thing. Like, this is the Empire. They don't give a fuck. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not like you're paying for bullets here. You know, these are blasters. These are ship blasters.
Again, this isn't the main character being stupid. The video title should be less specific, or the Reddit thread title.
Leo, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, like, swing? Yeah, you're right. That would have been a good way to do, is when they jump into it, R2-D2 remotely triggers all the escape pods to go off all at once. And then maybe they try and shoot them all down, but they can't like get all of them. Because don't forget, don't forget, like, shortly after this, the Empire goes, oh, she must have hidden the plans in the escape pod that launch, and they go to track it down. It would make a little bit more sense if R2-D2 remotely triggered all the escape pods to go all at once, and they got banked on getting lost in the confusion, and then the Empire tracks down their escape pod layer when they can't get it shot down.
George Lucas. Not a movie, but Breaking Bad would have worked out much better for Walt if he had just swallowed his pride and allowed his old friend to pay for his cancer treatment. I know, right? My rich friend will. Okay. What friend of Walt's offered to pay for cancer treatment? Cause I've only seen several episodes of Breaking Bad, and it was a while ago. Which friend offered to pay for his cancer treatment? The one he started. What? Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember it. But he offered it. But his rich friend offered to pay for the cancer treatment. Yeah. Maybe I didn't. Was it in the first episode? Yeah, it's been a long time since I saw it. I don't remember it. But here's the thing though. I don't think it would have worked out that much better, because realistically, I think Walt would not have been happy if his friend paid for friend paid for his cancer treatment. I still don't think Walt would have been happy, because they didn't have a happy home life as is. Like, wouldn't Skylar probably still treat him like a piece of shit? Am I wrong in my memory that Walt's home life was not exactly a happy one, even before he got his cancer treatment? Diagnosis. Even before he got his cancer diagnosis, they didn't have a happy home. After he got the cancer diagnosis, and no, Zeb, he wouldn't have. But goddamn it, he didn't go. But if it didn't allow him to go out in life like a fucking boss, like, yeah, he would not have become Heisenberg, and he wouldn't have ended up getting like shot. But he also, like, he riffed
it gave Walt the chance to live, to get power. That yeah, it allowed him to become a legend. Rough, I'd say I would wager, despite the problems he had, I think Walt probably had, comparatively speaking, this is comparatively speaking, mind you, I think Walt had a richer life as Heisenberg than he did before he got into it. His life before that was stagnant. And then when he became Heisenberg, he was living a life of power, adventure, money. Yes, in a way, I think Walt was happier as Heisenberg, despite everything that came with it and how it ended. I do.
Will pay for everything and all I have to do is play Candy Crush and eat Pop-Tarts, but you know what, I'm going to make drugs and kill people instead. Or let my rich friend pay for everything and still make drugs and kill people. Best of both worlds.
Well, okay, he only made drugs and unalive people because the cancer forced him to. He had not even considered doing anything of that nature whatsoever until he was forced to because he had to pay for the cancer treatment. If it was not for that, he would not have gone into the drug trade like he was. It was an excuse, Cortanis, but it was the excuse that led to it. If his friend had paid for his cancer treatment, he would have never gotten involved in it. It would have never even been a blip on his radar to get involved with that.
Literally not picking Anakin to be Padme bodyguard when the sexual tension between them is thicker than Jabba, or just buying his mother out of slavery. He is supposed to be detached from her. Would sure be easier if he knew she was safe.
Hear me out. If the Jedi didn't have a stick up their ass about actually feeling emotions. This is more broad scoping it. But I never did like the whole thing about you cannot have emotions as a Jedi. Like, you have to be detached from your emotions. I never liked that. Did Spirit though buying his mother out of slavery? Yeah. Like, seriously, are you telling me that the Jedi fucking Council, didn't have the money that after Anakin got to Coruscant, after Anakin was one of the key reasons why the droid army was defeated, that he wouldn't say that he wouldn't go to the Jedi Council, even as a child, and go, hey, my mom's a slave. It'd be really based if you could maybe, make her not a slave anymore. I'd really appreciate that. You don't think that the Jedi Council couldn't get his mom out of slavery, even if Watto refused to sell her? You don't fucking think that the Jedi couldn't figure out a way to do this? Like, maybe do a black op? Seriously, you don't think that if not the Jedi, you don't think Padme, does not have to follow any of the Jedi's fucking rules, you don't think Padme couldn't have orchestrated or commissioned a fucking black op to have someone go in there, deactivate the explosive in Shmi Skywalker, and get her the fuck out? Hey? Well, yeah. Correct, Zeb. He did, but it was how long after Anakin? And, look what happened to her. It's just fucking prequels. And yeah, you anyone with in the first part, anyone with half a brain could tell that, Fuck it, the first time Anakin sees Padme in episode 2, and he's like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. Oh my god, my heart's racing just by looking at her. Obi-Wan should have been like, yeah, you're staying far the fuck away from her. You go back to the Jedi. You go back to that the Jedi temple. I'll take care of that. You send over one of the other Jedi. I'm good. You know, we'll get a different team in here. Because you ain't Kevin Costner and she ain't Whitney Houston and we ain't playing this fucking game. Let's get another team in here. Like, seriously. You must be devoid of emotion, but we're going to ignore this plethora of fucking emotion that you are exhibiting towards Padme. We're just going to ignore the horny.
I wouldn't have fallen to the dark side if the Jedi didn't have a stick shoved sideways up their rear ends.
I mean, JRC could be fun. I know, Revan. I'm rolling. I know they can't have attachments. I know this. I understand this. I'm still gonna bitch about it. This is why Grey Jedi all the way. This is why 100%, if I was to ever be a Jedi, I would 100% be a Grey Jedi. Fuck the Jedi. Fuck the Sith. I do my own fucking thing, player.
Reservoir Dogs. I dunno, Joe. This heist seems kinda risky and dangerous. Yeah, I'm not actually sure everyone in this crew is on the up and up. It's off. Over the head.
Did they actually suspect, Pink of being a cop? I don't remember that. It's been a long time since I've seen Reservoir Dogs. Did someone before the heist actually suspect Mr. Pink? Yeah, I didn't think anyone was, Greyhouse. Like, the heist was risky and dangerous. They went into it knowing that. This part, I'm not sure everybody in the crew's on the up and up. I don't remember them ever being concerned. Yeah, like, this Neil Basil, I'm afraid you don't know what you're talking about. This was kind of the ever-loving point of putting together the crew the way they did.
Over the hedge. RJ decided to be a dum-dum and steal all of the bear's food. Like, what did he think would happen? Even if he didn't accidentally wake him up, the bear would still have woken up a week later and probably would have known it was RJ. Dang, I haven't heard someone reference Over the Hedge in years, lol. No Country for Old Men.
Oh boy.
Never go back to the scene of the crime.
Yes.
Also, if you find a duffel bag full of cash and decide to keep it, check it for tracking devices.
What? Guy, it's been a while since I did a country moment. Was there a tracking device in the bag? Is that how you locate him? Was like a tracking device of some sort? I don't remember that. God, it's been a while. Okay. Was it a tracking device put in by the cartel? Was that what it was? The cartel had a tracking device in it? It took place in the Did it take place in the 80s? Huh. Okay. True. What? No. Okay, no, it's not just he just leaves, it's don't take the fucking duffel bag. Like, take the cash out of the bag, dump the bag.
Take the cash, leave the duffel bag. Now Llewellyn and Cal are all living comfortably in an isolated Idaho ranch they paid cash for. Cars. If Lightning McQueen listened to his crew and changed his tires as ordered, he could have won the race. Or if he'd have let Mac go to bed, maybe the back hatch wouldn't have been opened, unchecked, etc. Or if he hadn't have been speeding like the little dead.
Oh, like, Cars was a Rube Goldberg of issues. That, seriously, you know, like, granted, the whole premise behind all of this was to showcase his ego. It was like the whole concept behind this part here, where he didn't listen to his crew and didn't change his tires, which honestly, if he had changed his tires, he actually might have lost. If he'd done what this guy's saying right here and actually allowed him and changed his tires like his crew had wanted, he might very well have lost. Remember, because he didn't have Luigi at the time to do that rapid tire change. So it's possible he could have lost. But this was, yeah. And that was the point of this. This and this, not letting Mac go to bed because Guido, sorry. Yeah, not Guido. I always mix them up. It was to show how egotistical he was. And that was the whole point of the movie, is over the course of the movie, he gets himself ego checked and realized that his ego is bad and he shouldn't be such an ego ass. You know? So this one, it had a reason.
Devil he is. He might have gotten to the second race, maybe knowing this time why tires are important, or if the cars were.
The funniest thing with Cars that I enjoyed is the twins flashing their headlights at McQueen, with the knowledge that those aren't headlights.
Mio? Not the second one. Do not watch the second one. Okay? The second one is... Because the second one is all about Mater doing a spy thriller thing. Okay? It is so dynamically different from 1 and 3 that it doesn't fit. That's the problem. It does not fit. You're going from a racing movie to a spy thriller back to a racing movie, only this time exemplified by old age. It doesn't fit. I'm not saying that Cars 2 is a bad movie. Honestly, if you're gonna watch them, watch 1 and 3 back to back, and watch 2 by itself another day. 2, yeah, exactly. 2 is like a standalone film. It doesn't fit in the style of the other 2.
Weren't even cars. Look, Cars to me falls under Balisario's principle. Some movies don't have to make sense to be enjoyable. I think it makes sense. It's just that the main character is an arrogant buffoon. It's the entire point of the movie.
The entire
to force
point.
him into a sink or swim situation where he must
Yep.
grow.
There
Not
you go.
the main character, but don't reopen the beach for the holiday weekend in Jaws.
Okay, well... In fairness, Brody tried to close the fucking beach. The mayor refused to let him close the beach, okay? This is... Yeah, there was the political pressure. Brody did try to close the beach. The main character tried to do the right thing. The secondary asshole said, no, we need this to survive. Granted, like, the mayor was like, we need the beaches open in order for this podunk little island to survive. Yeah, Amity was a summer town. They relied upon their beach traffic to live. If they didn't have their summer tourism, they would not survive through the winter, and the island would literally, like, everyone would be broke. So the mayor kind of had to keep it open. And I think in the mayor, he was in with the mob, wasn't he? Sorry, in the novel. In the novel, I'm pretty sure the mayor was in with the mob, so that's why he kept the beach open, because he had to make money to try and pay back the mob. Yeah.
Any horror movie where your friends are dying one by
here
one.
we go.
After the third one, you say F it and leave. Third, after one death I'm out of there and not coming back without the cops. I would too. But some people don't have common sense. They wait until the I can't believe this is happening to decide to run.
Do you want to know a really good horror movie? That kind of cat girl. Laws do not apply to me. Do you want to know a good horror movie that kind of flips the genre on its head a bit? And no, I'm not talking about Cabin in the Woods. I'm not talking about Cabin in the Woods. A good horror movie, if you've never seen it before, that takes, yes, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That is a horror movie that takes the genre of the horror hillbilly killers and completely flips it on its head. It is a great fucking movie. It is out fucking, oh, you've never heard of it. Yes, silly, it is. That movie is nothing but miscommunications. If you have not seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil, watch it. It is a great fucking movie. It stars the glorious Alan Tudyk. Okay, Alan Tudyk stars in that movie. So you know it's gonna be fucking good. Like, it is great. It is a great movie. And this whole thing, after the first person dies, someone does go and get the cops. After one person dies. Well, I mean, Selene, he is Dale is the main character. Tucker is like Tucker is like his buddy. He's not the main character. But yeah, after the death in that movie, after the first death, someone does go to get the cops. It's just things don't work out the way they hoped. But it's a great movie. You absolutely should see it.
Any movie where the main character says there's no time to
Oh,
explain.
God.
This made me think of Princess Bride. Let me explain. No, there is too much. Let me sum up. Such a good movie. I suppose the summation is good enough. I first watched that film last month. I definitely regret not seeing it sooner, as it was a great time from start to finish. 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay, hang on. This one, there's no time to explain. No. There is always time to explain. You can explain on the fucking run. Okay? Saying there's no time to explain means that I got no time for you. And 50, we're gonna be jumping into 50 Shades. Hang on. Cracks knuckles. Alright, let me roll with shoulders, loosen up a little bit. It's gonna be a good ride.
Sooner, as it was a great time from start to finish. 50 Shades of Grey. You're an abusive stalker with serious emotional trauma. Seek help. You're using BDSM as a mask for your trauma and abusive tendencies. That is bad BDSM.
Beyond that. Okay? This right here. Yes, you're basically using BDSM as a Christian Grey was using BDSM as a method of self-medicating in the worst fucking way possible. Yes, he had a messed up childhood, and that's why he was using BDSM as he was self-medicating with BDSM instead of actually getting fucking therapy. And he was 100 times worse in the book. Okay? Christian Grey in the book is 100 times worse. 100 times worse. In the book, he is legitimately abusive. Like, physically abusive. He was criminally abusive. Everything I've heard, like, I only read 30 pages into 50 Shades of Grey before I said, fuck this shit, I'm out, and left. Not because of anything Christian had done up to that point, because he hadn't done fucking anything, but because E.L. James is an absolute dog shit writer. That's why I couldn't get past page 30, is because E.L. James is one of the worst writers I have ever had the misfortune of laying eyes to paper with. Okay? She cannot write books. She should not write books. Someone needs to take the novel away from her. But from everything I've heard, he is a fucking rabid dog when it comes to the relationship. He literally physically abuses Anastasia. Not BDSM kind of way, like criminal abuse. Criminal abuse. He legitimately acts like a criminal in 50 Shades of Grey. Not a duck. And the whole time Anna's like, I love him. It's like, bitch, no. Like, and he's like this way from the onset. This is not like he's treating her wonderful through and slowly over the course of time, he changes and Anastasia basically, essentially has what amounts to battered wife syndrome, where, she's like, oh, I love him, and she, takes the abuse, and is in the unfortunate position where she can't see the real him, and so on and so forth. No, this is like from the very beginning. He is an asshole and treats her like shit from the beginning. From the beginning. It is shocking that this book was so popular with like the wine moms and housewives back when it came out. Because that's who was reading this. That's who was reading 50 Shades of Grey. It skyrocketed to popularity because of housewives and wine moms.
Well, remember, Bear, he only got away with it because of money and looks.
Yes. That's why I have said it's only because he is wealthy that he was considered kinky. If he was just some blue collar who lived in a shitty apartment downtown, this would have been an episode of Criminal Minds. So, yeah. Christian Grey, it doesn't help that Anastasia Steele was written as a complete dumb fuck. That's part of it. Like, she was written as a dumbass. No woman thinks and acts the way Anastasia Steele does in either the books or the movies of 50 Shades of Grey. She is very unique in that regard, in that she is a dumbass that only acts that way because she was literally written that way.
Star Wars Episode 1. Not exactly 10 minutes, but Padme could have bought Anakin's mom and he would have probably never turned to the dark side. Republic credits may not be worth much on Tatooine, but I'm sure one of her jewel-encrusted headdresses is. Or if anyone had asked Anakin how he was doing and if he wanted to talk. But the story of the prequels is essentially the old Jedi were stupid and kinda deserved it.
Yep.
Kigon. Hi, I'm looking for T15 hyperdrive. Do you have one? Watto. We got one. No one else has one. I can tell you that. Kigon. This guy is obviously ripping us off. Let's just get the part from someone else. They never find Anakin. Never free him and everyone in the universe sleeps well for the next 200 years.
Don't know about that part. Like, Qui-Gon saying this guy's obviously ripping us off, let's get the perf from someone else. I don't know. This might not work. This might not work because who knows, Watto might have only been the only one to have the T15 hyperdrive. I don't know if it's true or not, but they never find Anakin and never free him. They were still at war. The Sith were still working. They were still at war. It was because of Anakin that they won the battle at Naboo. That Anakin was instrumental in, basically the Naboo getting freed. It's entirely possible that if Anakin hadn't come into play, that the Trade Federation would have taken over. It's entirely possible. Yeah. Oh yeah, well, I mean, so I'm blowing up the ship just before they even dock, and they go, oh, the Jedi never showed up for negotiation. They'd send out some more. That wouldn't have made a difference. But again, this one, like, where they're talking about, like, Padme buying Shmi's mom, like, one of you guys mentioned, so they tried to buy Shmi and Watto refused to sell it. Padme's royalty. Padme has political power. Padme has wealth. You're telling me she can't sanction a black op? I know she can sanction a black op. It could have been done.
If MR and MRS Bueller were anything like my parents,
the
movie would have been called Ferris Bueller's Day at School. If they were anything like my parents, they would have called my bluff, taken me to the doctor's office, and found out, to my own surprise as well, that I had bronchitis.
I don't know. Ferris Bueller's Day Off? When did Ferris Bueller come out? Mid-80s? Was Ferris Bueller 85? 89? When did Ferris Bueller come out? 86. Okay. 80s kids. Was it pretty common for you to go, I'm sick, and for mom and dad to say, okay, stay home, get some rest, and just leave you? I mean, talking with people from that lived back in the 80s, I got the feeling that that was kinda common. Okay, well, your mom was a doctor. You're in a different circumstance. If you didn't have a temp, but if you did, Dragon, don't forget, I think he tricked his parents into thinking that he did have a temperature. So, if I didn't have an actual fever, an obvious sore throat, wasn't getting out of school. Okay. I would get sent to school with pneumonia as a 90s kid. Wow. Yeah, I think he did the hot water bottle trick with the thermometer, and then, yeah, he licked his palms to make them cold and clammy. Also, don't forget, this was, Ferris Bueller lived on, in the northern suburbs of Chicago, which is a wealthy area. So I could see the wealthy mom and dad being just like, okay, hon, you stay home. We gotta go to work and make money. I could see that even in the 80s. Because, yeah, they probably lived, up in... Fuck, I can't remember where they were supposed to live, but I do know it was the northern Chicago suburbs.
Forget movies. How I Met Your Mother took 9 years.
Oh my
a 5-minute
God, yes.
story. Kid.
Oh my God, yes. This was, and they actually made a joke about this. As a commercial for the series finale, as a commercial for it, the two kids were like, yes, finish the story. We've been sitting here for like 9 years. I've reached puberty with my sister. Something like he achieved puberty, basically implying that his first sexual experience was his sister because they were sitting on that couch for 9 years and that they've been shitting in a bucket the whole time. Yeah, it was. Yeah, they actually did that joke for the series as a commercial for the series finale. But yeah, it's like you sit there telling him so the How I Met Your Mother thing was basically all about how Ted fucked a whole shitload of women before ever meeting their mother. And then mom's dead and the kids are like, yeah, go fuck Aunt Robin now. Go back to Aunt Robin and go fuck her again because you two were perfect for one another. When aside from Marshall and Lily, none of them were good for one another. Marshall and Lily were the only two that were good for one another. The other three, no. The other three were emotional vampires.
I was at a wedding, and your mom was the bass player, the
Yep.
end. And that wedding, Aunt Robin's. I would like to bang her again. Is that cool with you guys? Isn't this also serendipitous? Pretty much anything on the Hallmark channel.
Oh,
Wait,
God.
let me explain. I am dying of a women.
I am very proud to say I've never seen anything on the Hallmark Channel. But the Hallmark Channel movies are literally all of them. Miscommunication, some movie. Every fucking Hallmark movie is mistaken identity, misunderstanding, and running that plot thread until it dies for an hour and a half or 2 hours. That is literally every fucking Hallmark Channel movie. Every one of them. Does it, Gordonis? Oh yeah, they all have happy endings. Like, oh, I loved you all along, even though, like, okay, one in particular. Yeah, everybody, yes, exactly, Redmond. I was going there. There was one, again, I saw the review on it. It was a Melissa Joan Hart movie where she literally kidnaps, what's his name? Mario something. I forget, the guy that used to be on Saved by the Bell. Mario something or other. I for the life of me, I can't recall his name. Mario Lopez, thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Mario Lopez. Melissa Joan Hart literally kidnaps Mario Lopez, brings him back to her family for Christmas, says, "This is my fiance." Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Elaine, yeah. I believe that's what's called, Holiday in Handcuffs. Like, kidnaps him, brings him back to her family, and he just, like, at first he's like, oh my god, what the fuck, let me go. And then all of a sudden, for reasons, he starts rolling with it, and they fall in love, of course. In the end, they fall in love and get together. It's like, what the actual fuck? No. No. This is like, no. This is not Stockholm Syndrome. This is Hallmark. This is Hallmark Syndrome. Okay? And yes, Melissa Joan Hart is beautiful, but if you're getting kidnapped by some strange woman, what's it? If you're getting kidnapped by some strange woman who puts you in handcuffs and takes you out to the country, no, you're not falling in love with her. You're screaming your fucking head off and trying to find the nearest con. Clip what? Then I accidentally dropped something on my keyboard and brought up shortcuts? Clip what? No, clip that. That's stupid. If you're gonna clip something, at least clip something that's funny or amusing. What? Yeah, just shut up, Sully. Yeah, of course they all want my shortcuts. I don't even know how the fuck that triggered to begin with, honestly. Very good, Pink. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Leo. Wait, what the? Why didn't I hear any? Did the sound alert just go off for you guys? I didn't hear anything. Did you guys hear the sound alert go off? Just now? Okay, it's not just me this time. Okay, hang on. What the hell's going on here? God, did I just, like, do something to OBS and hurt it? OBS, did I hurt you? Did I hurt you, OBS? No, oh, for God's sake, they are. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. My brain is cooked. You're right, I did mute them. I'm cooked. My brain is fucking cooked. Okay, let's move on before I totally go brain dead.
Disease. That's Lifetime. Hallmark is 25-year-olds finding love. Lifetime is 40-year-olds being miserable. I'm from the UK. Do they just show bottom of the barrel rom-coms? It's the bit that end up on the floor of your cellar. They had like 3 plots they rehash 20 times a season. Batman Begins. The Waynes shouldn't have left through the side exit of the theater.
Oh, Oh,
Just call
stop.
Alfred and wait out front. Just hire a driver to pick you up at the entrance like every other
Oh,
elite rich
come
person.
on.
Dad, just book an Uber? Whoa. This is a flashback. Shut up and follow me and Mama. John Wick.
Seriously, you're gonna fuck with that, man. Come on.
If Theon would have just killed John, considering they effed hun up pretty bad, not only would we not have gotten 3 movies, but Theon would be known as the person who killed Baba Yaga, being the son of a crime lord and worldwide recognition.
Who is this posting? Who is this individual posting? Sorry, let me rephrase. Who is this fucking moron making this post? Who is this fucking idiot? Who didn't know it was John Wick?
Had a can't remember crap moment.
Yes, Chelsea, I did. Theon didn't know it was John Wick. Because his dad didn't tell him about it. And it happened. What? Oh, the author. What? Atanashi, now you're confusing me. I'm saying like this Redditor is saying if he had just killed John, not only would he have not gotten 3 movies, but he would have been known as the person who killed Baba Yaga, but he didn't even know who the fuck John Wick was. Let us not forget, when Theon goes to his father tells him about Baba Yaga. His father informs him about John Wick. Theon didn't have any fucking clue who even John Wick was. And yes, the car. Well, okay, Cortana, it was a home invasion, but he's a gangster. He didn't care. John Wick retired as an assassin for the Tarasov family. They wouldn't get recognition. They'd be betraying their own family. Yeah, okay, you're talking about this last part. That he'd get recognition for killing the most famous assassin on the planet would make their family untouchable. When, yeah, John Wick was their fucking assassin. Okay, I see the angle you're going at now, Atanashi. It took me a second. My brain's cooked. It took me a second to catch up to what you were saying. Yeah, they already had recognition for having the most famous assassin on the planet. Leo, because he's an asshole. That is literally it. Because John would not give Theon his car, so they followed him back to his home, broke into his house, killed his dog, and stole his car. Because he is an asshole. That's it.
For killing the most famous assassin on the planet would make the Tarasov family untouchable. Hi, is a car for sale? No. Where did you buy it? I'm a mobster's son with a literal bottomless checkbook. Murray's Classic Vehicles. Drop my name John Wick, and they'll give you a good deal. Hey, thanks. Murray's Classic Vehicles. Drop my name John Wick, and they'll give you a good deal. Oh, my family knows Murray and we do business. I see we work in the same circles and it would be foolish of me to attack someone who has ties to my family's shop, the person who manages it, and quite possibly my family. Now, like a smart and calculating crime heir, I'll take my leave. Good day to you, sir.
Well, the problem was Theon wasn't a smart and calculating crime heir. That was the whole thing. He was young and brash and stupid. That was his character. This don't work for the way his character was presented from the very beginning. He was presented as young, impulsive, unknowledgeable. He was, acting like a spoiled rich kid. This was not in his character at all.
And he could have taken the puppy. Then he would have killed John Wick and had a puppy. Yeah, but he didn't know who he was at the time. He thought he was just some guy that disrespected him. He probably left him alive because he wasn't out to murder him. Just teach him a lesson. If there was a fallacy in the movie, it was where they captured Wick and the boss takes his whole crew except 2 guys out while they strangle Wick.
This is
it's the
true.
same dumb mistake all these villains make.
That's true enough.
Bond. Let me tell you my whole plan and then leave you strapped to this table with a slow moving laser running across it. I will now leave the room and will just assume that you'll sit there and die. The movie would have been over had Mob Boss and his goons stayed there to ensure Wick died. Or just put a bullet in his head instead of trying to slowly suffocate him. Star Wars, after discovering that Anakin could be very powerful with the Force, but had a lot of fear and attachment issues over his mother, the Council sends Obi-Wan back to Tatooine to buy his mother out of slavery and relocate her to Coruscant in a safe neighborhood.
What we said.
Anakin now knows that even without him in the picture, his mother will live a safe and happy life and can detach from her much more easily than leaving her alone on a savage world. And even if he isn't able to fully detach from her, he never has the impetus to slaughter the Sand People and kickstart his descent to the dark side. It's not a short plan, but certainly one that would produce a version of Anakin who ends up resenting the Jedi just a little less. Maybe even enough to no slaughter younglings in the future. TB.
I mean, they're doing a lot of Star Wars ones in this. A lot of them. It's kind of funny. Well, that's true. They didn't buy the Chosen One legend. Palpatine would have entered some other tragedy for? Maybe? I forget, did Palpatine have any engineering involved in the Sand People kidnapping Shmi and then killing her? Was he involved in that at all? I don't remember, honestly. Was it? Like, I don't recall if he had anything to do with that occurring. I did too. Like, I always thought it just happened to be coincidence and Palpatine just kind of like rolled with it. Okay. I don't think he set it off. I think he was just, it happened and he was like, I can work with this, and he used it to his advantage, but I don't think he set it up. And saying like Palpatine would have engineered some other tragedy for her? Not necessarily. His mother, I honestly don't think was Palpatine. I don't think gave a shit about his mother. He was, yeah. I honestly don't think he would have even looked at his mother to try and do something to manipulate him, because he was already manipulating it. It didn't influence the Force to show Anakin a whole bunch, but yes, that is true enough, Elwin, but we're just talking about like, okay, did he do anything to facilitate the Sand People killing his mother? Yeah. Bedside sources may have Palpatine involved, but not the movies. True, okay.
If Palpatine would have engineered some other tragedy for her. Please, Lightning McQueen, change your tires in this pit stop. Okay, tires wouldn't have blown in the last lap and he would have won, as he was comfortably leading the race. No need for a tiebreaker race. Emperor's New Groove. Isma originally says that she could just turn him into a flea, put that flea in a box, put that box into another box, and eventually send it to herself so she could smash it with a hammer. Then she says to save on postage, she'll just use poison, which ends up not being poison. Even if she went with the original plan, he'd be a flea, and, for all intents and purposes, out of the picture pretty instantly. Isma F-ed herself trying to save like a quarter. Isma F-ed herself trying to save like a quarter. This as the Disney Plus description would make an amazing movie that much better.
Yeah. It's I don't know, it's been a while since I saw The Emperor's New Groove. I forget that she did the poison thing because she said that she could turn, like, I don't remember hardly anything about The Emperor's New Groove, honestly. It's pretty accurate. Okay. It's been a while. I don't remember Yasmin talking about how she could turn him into a flea. Pull the other lever! When lever!
School of Rock Mrs. Mullins. Can I see your ID, Mr. Sheebley? Dewey. Sorry, I don't have it, Mrs. Mullins. Sorry, you won't be able to teach the kids unless you have proof you're a teacher who you are. Credits. Hey man, she's under a lot of stress. You have no idea how angry these parents get. She wasn't always like this.
True.
You know, there was a time when she was fun. She was funny. But you can't be funny and be the principal of a prep school. To be fair, I have done a lot of substitute teaching and no one has ever once asked to see any kind of ID.
Especially School of Rock was what, the 90s? They didn't give a shit. And yeah, like with the prep school, prep schools in the 90s were the king of the helicopter parents. The parents were like, my kid is the greatest thing since sliced bread. They better be getting, is it early 2000s? Okay, same principle. Yeah, it's, they're absolutely right. Substitute teachers, they don't, like, especially back then, they didn't fucking care. They just, like, they had no teacher. They're desperate for a teacher. A teacher shows up saying, I'm the sub. They're like, get the fuck in there. And they'll boot them into the classroom and say, start teaching. Russ, the point of prep school, supposedly, is that it's a heightened level of education for grade school, junior high, high school. You know, it's a school that supposedly has a higher quality of teaching and learning, supposedly. These days, it's not much more than a fucking moneymaker. And that's kinda it. Realistically speaking, it's just a fucking moneymaker for the boy. Yeah, it's supposed to prep you for college. They don't do a whole lot of that these days.
Not once ever. I agree. This really shocked me when I was a sub. I was just an unfamiliar adult and I get secretaries asking, you're here for Miss So-and-so, right? Room number blah. I'll sign you in. Frozen. Anna, why do you shut me out?
Oh, here we
Elsa,
go.
Enough. Anna. Okay, we are gonna discuss it later in private. Thanks for the awards. Also, Elsa, you can't marry a man you just met. Anna, you're right.
Yeah, the whole fucking Frozen thing was like, it was more the parents. Like, the parents were like, okay, our child has this ability, and instead of nurturing her and trying to teach her, they're like, we are going to lock you away so you can never see anyone, and ostracize you and treat you like a fucking pariah. Like, fucking How It Should Have Ended got it right. If you've ever seen the How It Should Have Ended with Frozen, the parents take Elsa to the trolls, and the trolls are like, okay, we should know a place. And yeah, they take her to Xavier. The next scene is Elsa walking in, and you see, hello, I'm Charles Xavier. Welcome to my school for the gifted. Yeah, thanks, but see, if the parents had just been like, you have a gift, we are going to treat you kindly and help you understand your gift. End of movie. Wait, not to mention they also made her the reason why the parents die as well. Really? Was that in Frozen 2, Cortanis? Because I didn't see Frozen 2. Like, I think that, like, they said, like, Anna, I think didn't they say, like, Elsa was some kind of, like, an elemental or something? NetPets there that Elsa and Anna weren't related, but in fact, Elsa and Rapunzel. I do know that Rapunzel showed up it was either the beginning or the ending of Frozen. I remember they showed that. They showed Rapunzel and Flynn showing up for, like, the coronation, I think it was. Eh. I don't know about them being related. I don't think it works. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work. Yeah, I know.
You're right. Don't get me started on this movie. Elsa's parents. Maybe if we bring her up in an emotionally secure environment, it will assist her in controlling her powers. There is actually a term for this. Idiot plot. 28 days later. How about we don't let the diseased rage monkey out of the cage? And with 28 weeks later.
28 weeks later, oh my sweet fuck. The kids need to get punched in the fucking mouth. And the dad needs to get his head rammed through a fucking wall. That whole family? Fuck that whole family in 28 weeks later. Fuck that entire family. 28 weeks later, the reason why 28 weeks later happens is because these dumbass fucking kids that are in a freshly unzombified UK. They go back to they're allowed back into London after the zombie apocalypse has just barely been averted. And what do these kids do? Let's go off into the uncontained zone by our fucking selves and fuck around. And there they discover their mother, who is a carrier of the disease. And by a miracle they don't get infected. And they are brought back into the city. And the mother is diseased. She is left, they say she is a carrier of the virus. She has not changed, but she is a carrier of the virus. She is left unguarded. This is a woman with whatever the hell, with the rage virus. This is a woman that is a carrier of the rage virus. She could kickstart the zombie apocalypse all the fuck over again. They leave her strapped to a fucking table alone. Completely unguarded. So her dumb fuck of a husband who's got keys to everything, mind you. A non-military individual has keys to literally everywhere in the fucking city, can go in to the single locked room that is completely unguarded where his infected wife is strapped down to the table and kisses her because he's a dumb fuck. And ticks off the fucking zombie apocalypse all the fuck over again. Yes, Xanax, that is how it happens. I'm paring it bare bones, but that is what fucking happens. Fuck 28 weeks later.
28 years later is in production. They skipped 28 months later apparently.
Where?
They really should have kept Don's wife locked up better. Seriously, yes. How the hell is there zero security protocol concerning a known carrier of the virus? He just walks right in.
Yes!
The main antagonist in Suicide.
He didn't just walk right in. He had keys to literally the entire fucking city. That's how he got in. But she was completely unfucking guarded. No. Dumb fuck.
Suicide Squad is a member of the team, Enchantress, who turned out to be evil and gains power thanks to some magic MacGuffin that the lady running the team uses to control her. Literally the entire plot of Suicide Squad wouldn't have happened if they didn't bother assembling the effing Suicide.
Yes. Yeah. That's it exactly. This is an example of sheer fucking hubris. Well, Revan, point of fact, having Enchantress's heart did fuck all. Remember, Amanda Waller, when Enchantress, went rogue, Amanda Waller actually started stabbing the fuck out of Enchantress's heart, and it didn't do anything. It did not slow her down. The minute Enchantress went rogue, Amanda Waller flips open the case and starts stabbing the fuck out of the heart, and it didn't do anything.
This stream, we learn how to stretch out 2023 to 2 by repeating the same line from the video, but using 18 times the words.
Zeb, shut up! It's my stream! And Finder, thank you for the follow.
Squad. Waller, I have an idea. We start a team of supervillains and use them to do our dirty work. Government guy who would authorize this? No. The end. If Superman turned evil, who would have stopped him? Great idea. Let's form a team that definitely cannot stop Superman.
Hell yeah. This was the biggest fuck you dumb logic ever. Yeah, her entire pitch is, okay, there's Superman. How the hell do we stop it's not just Superman, it's Wonder Woman, it's Aquaman, there are metahumans. How do we stop them if they decide to go rogue? Cool, we're gonna get a whole bunch of people with guns and one guy who can control fire. Genius. They won't be able to do a goddamn thing. Yes, Leo. Yes, it is. Thunderbolts is literally Marvel version of Suicide Squad. You are correct.
As far as I'm aware, everyone in the Suicide Squad is evil. What's stupid is putting slave collars on them and expecting everything to go according to plan. Rent. Hey, Mom. Mark here. I'm sorry. It didn't work out. I'm being evicted. Can I go home again? Credits. Inside
I never saw Rent.
In the scene where Sadness and Joy meet the two workers in the long term, they send the gum commercial memory through the wall. The little flap that opens if you push a memory through it, and up to headquarters. IDK why they didn't think of sending the core memories through that instead. There's an entire theory that Joy actually thought of it but knew that Sadness would come too, so she kept it to herself. Later in the movie when Joy takes the tube she calls it a recall tube, which is weird because nobody has called it that in the entire movie. It's made obvious that Joy hates Sadness. So how ridiculous is it that Joy would risk it to make sure Sadness does not make it back? Frozen.
I never saw Inside Out, so all of that made no sense to me. I'm sorry.
The parents completely isolated Elsa from the world,
okay, now we're repeating.
leaving her with insecurity and anxiety. They also seemingly neglected her as her behavior was never in check, which is why she continuously butted her way into Elsa's space when she clearly needed some time alone to clear her head. Maybe if they two actually talked instead of Anna's near assault on Elsa, something could have been worked out that didn't include running away and getting hypothermia in a semi-frozen river. The parents are dumb. Instead of trying to control the powers and finding a way to work as a kingdom and as a family, they close down and separate the sisters. Neither of them seem to have friends. It's a miracle their social skills are still, relatively.
I mean, they had no friends, they were trapped inside the castle the whole time. It's a miracle they have social skills, period. All they had were servants. They had no peers, no friends, no nothing. The fact that they could function in society at all is a miracle. And I mean, when they were adults, that's when they basically took the lack of communication and took it to the nth fucking degree that resulted in Elsa running away in the first place. Dude, why could Anna knows about Elsa's powers. Okay? This is not like it is an unknown. She knows about Elsa's powers. When Elsa starts having problems at her coronation, she could have just looked at Anna and said, I'm having a problem here. And Anna could have been like, oh shit, okay, let's figure something out. And like, why is she so scared of him anyway? Like, she's the fucking queen. I don't recall there being any issue about how if she exhibited having ice powers, that she would have been labeled like a witch and killed or anything like that. I don't remember anything like that being a thing in Frozen. They're just like, you have to hide your powers.
Remember,
oh, that's right, they did.
The trolls removed
that's
Anna's
right,
memories
they did.
of Elsa's
I forgot about
powers
that.
due to the childhood accident.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. That was also stupid. Didn't they like remove the memory? Why did they remove the memory of her powers anyway? Like they were worried about the traumatizing because Elsa accidentally zapped her and turned one lock of her hair white. And they were like, oh, that's traumatizing. That's fucking movie. That fucking movie.
Sharp. Sleeping Beauty. Honey, we should invite Maleficent to our daughter's christening. I know she's the mistress of all evil, but it'd probably end up worse for us if we don't invite her. And then Maleficent insisted on one-upping the good fairies by giving Aurora the best gift, not having to experience the horrors of the real world. This is actually true. While Maleficent is the like queen of all evil, to not invite her was a major insult. Then the little fairy was like, cause you weren't wanted like B, what did you think would happen? She would sulk away like a teenager? No, she's a bad AB. She's gonna get her revenge.
True.
Moral of the story. Even if you don't want to invite someone of influence, do it anyway. Better to keep people on your good side than have your infant daughter cursed. She's the man. Sorry, you're very clearly a girl dressed as a boy. Do you even go here? Credits. Not the main.
I don't know. I never saw She's the Man. Did Hilary Swank make for a convincing boy when she cross-dressed? I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure. No, she didn't? Okay. Maybe they should have looked at hiring an actual cross-dresser or transgender individual for that. That would have been like that would have been a movie where it's like, okay, let's get someone who's actually trans to either be in the role or help out to make this more believable. I don't know.
Not the main character, but Star Wars. The Empire grabs Leia's ship and the droids escape in a capsule. There's no life forms. Hold your fire.
We're fucking repeating.
No, wait. Droids exist in this universe and could be carrying those plans Vader wants. Let's pull that ship in or dispatch some TIE fighters to intercept it or something. A short time later, so we pulled apart those droids. The golden one was useless, but the astromech had the plans. Vader, excellent. You will be rewarded for this. Why did I imagine Vader saying excellent like Mr. Burns? Actually, if you think about underneath the suit, Mr. Burns is a great nickname for him. Star Wars.
Good.
Just shoot the escape pod with R2 and C-3PO in it. What? Are we paying by the laser? You don't do the budget. Terry, I do. Jeepers creepers.
Okay,
just
here we go.
mind your own business and keep driving.
Not wrong. Not wrong. How many of you seen Jeepers Creepers? The only, bearing in mind, this only applies to the first movie. This only applies to the first movie because the only reason why Jeepers Creepers, the movie, happened, why this affects the main characters, is because one of the guys sees the creeper dumping a body and goes, we have to go check it out. And they find the creeper's lair, and so the creeper gets on their scent and tracks them down. If they hadn't stopped and they just kept going, they would have traveled all the way through town and left, and the creeper would have never come after them. So, yeah, if they just minded their own business and kept driving, maybe stopped and said, hey, there was some creepy shit happening out there. Stopped and called the police and said, hey, there was some creepy shit out there. You should probably go check it out. Thanks, bye. And then continued on their way because they were just driving through the county. They were not stopping there. They both would have lived.
Jumanji next level. Bro
Oh,
Spencer, you
God.
idiot. He was depressed and wanted to escape his life. People do stupid, crazy things when they are depressed. He never expected his friends to come in after him. Yeah, I can totally get this. Jumanji was like the one place where he felt useful and worthwhile. Avengers Infinity War. As soon as Moore and Cole landed in New York, Doctor Strange could have used the time stone repeatedly to his advantage. That's the whole problem now. At any point he could have just, I don't know, frozen time or stick.
Yeah. This is the problem you get with not only the MCU, but with superheroes in general. Once they've exhibited an OP ability, any conflict that they engage in, you as the audience member are immediately going, why do you not use OP power? You have OP power. You can use it. Why are you not using it? Fuck them up. And yeah, with the time stone, yeah. Exactly. Strange could have used the time stone to literally just fuck their shit up 6 ways to Sunday. And never did. It's... But this is the problem with all superheroes that have any level of OP power. Well, no, but Revan, he hadn't checked the future predictions by that point yet. This is prior to that. And yeah, it's exactly. One Punch Man is so much fun because he is OP, but they play with it in a way that makes it fun. Like, he's like, okay, I'm bored. He's like, I'm OP, and I'm bored. So he just, like, kinda sorta doesn't care a bunch of times, and when he does help, it's like, boom, oh, you know, like, there's this massive problem going on, and he's off on his little, like, side quest that is the tiniest fucking thing in the world, and when he does show up, he literally just one hit and you're done, and it's done, and it's funny. But yeah, truly, that's like with Superman, they do justify it, but it's like, this is a world-ending event. Pull out that fucking time stone, you jackass.
Those idiots in a time loop, or just reverse time so they were ready for them. You can't have all-powerful time travel introduced because it makes every other problem you don't solve with it seem pointless and stupid. With luck in Doctor Strange 2 we'll discover the cost of using the time stone in the manner that he did. There has to be a cost. Which is why Strange is mysteriously busy doing sorcerer things in the comics when any enemy that could be defeated by Deus Ex Machina power shows up.
Well, it's also the same with literally every other superhero. Why are they not calling in so-and-so? Why are they not calling in so-and-so? Why aren't we calling in this team? Why aren't we calling in the Avengers? It doesn't fucking work.
Why didn't he travel back to Earth with the sling ring and use it to run away?
When? When are you talking about, Revan? When are you talking about? Why didn't he travel back to Earth with the sling ring and to use it to run away? No, you're talking about the end of Infinity War. Well, by that point is when he looked at like the million possibilities of how they win, and remember that was after he'd done that, seeing how they could win. Well, that even before the fight, Redmond, I don't know. They were, fuck if I know. And TTV Bananas, thank you for the follow.
Strange and Scarlet only ever show up when the only solution is hand-waving everything. Temporal manipulations can create branches in time, unstable dimensional openings, spatial paradoxes, time loops. You want to get stuck reliving the same moment over and over, forever, or never having existed at all? Cole Mordo, I'm guessing using just any time he wanted could have had drastic and unintended consequences. Home Alone here sick, just forget about one of your kids. Home Alone 2, congratulations on learning from your mistakes and managing to get your kid to the airport this time and he's gone. CPS. Yeah, most people don't lose their kid once a year. We're gonna come over and see what's up. To be fair, they went
and this was in Chicago. CPS will take that kid in a heartbeat. Okay? They forget CPS in Chicago, they forget their kid like that. It wouldn't just be a cop showing up one time, it would be CPS showing up too. And they'd be like, Kevin, I need you to come with us for a little while. Yeah, they did. I know this. And then what? And then what about Home Alone 2, Zed? Where they where they lost him in the airport? And exactly, Cortez. Yeah, CPS is taking kids away for a lot less. Well, okay. Now the reason why Kevin didn't call the cops is Kevin was 8 years old at the time. Yeah, they made him smarter. And don't forget, this was also after he had a really bad night. And for Kevin, this was like a dream that his family was gone. It was a dream. So Kevin not calling the cops made sense because he was having the time of his life.
To lengths to explain how he was forgotten so that it didn't rely on pure stupidity. Tons of people in the family making it a crowd. Kevin's plane ticket being lost in the trash. Kevin being sent to sleep up in the attic instead of among everyone else. The family waking up late so they have to rush to the airport as fast as possible. The girl doing the head count to make sure all the kids were accounted for unknowingly tapped the neighbor kid's head, resulting in a full count.
Talked about.
Maybe more. It's been a while since I've seen it. Harry Potter and
like, yes, they did explain how the mix-up could have happened. It wasn't just like unbelievable. But yeah, given the period of time, if any word had leaked to the CPS about this, CPS would have come and had a conversation. Even after the parents got home again. CPS back then, they didn't fuck around.
and the Goblet of Fire. Just portkey Harry to the graveyard right off the bat. You fool. Gone with the Wind. If Ashley had just told Scarlett in plain English that he loved Melanie, then Scarlett would have given up chasing him. Instead he would say things like, she's like me, we're blood, they were cousins, we understand each other, etc. Scarlett misinterpreted that to mean he didn't love her, but was marrying her for other reasons. It wasn't until the end that after Melanie died that Scarlett realized Ashley loved Melly and not her. She wasted years of her life on something that could have been cleared up with a simple phrase. I don't know about where you live, but expecting rich southerners to speak plain English to one another when doing so is sure to lead to public unpleasantness is slightly unrealistic.
Yeah. This is not only a southerner during the Civil War. Yeah, they don't speak plain English. They do a fucking barn dance around everything. And it's just as bad today, from what I hear. So, yeah.
Well, if Voldemort had conjured a shotgun to kill Harry Potter, not even a mother's love would have saved him from that. But no, really? He had to be all melodramatic and Avada Kedavra the little chosen one. He was a baby. You could do it with a bucket of water, or just drop him on the floor. Avada Kalashnikov.
Even it's so stupid that the concept of a wizard whipping out a firearm. That's funny. That's fucking funny right there. It does bring up the question. How would the wizarding world handle just a squad of soldiers with firearms? Like during that, I honestly kind of wonder. During that war of Voldemort's people versus the people at Hogwarts, what if someone had just whipped out an M4? What if someone who lived in the human world, like Harry or Hermione, or anyone else that had spent time in the human world, decided, okay, there's a bunch of wizards. M4, line them up from across the yard, boom, headshot, boom, headshot.
The problem with this is that Voldemort detested all things Muggle. Due to his
Yeah,
time
I know.
in the orphanage, he'd never use a gun.
No, I'm not giving the person shit about Voldemort not using a gun. I'm just thinking, like, if any of the young students, like, these are young students, they've spent time in the Muggle world. I don't think all of them were British. I believe. I could be wrong. It's been some time since I looked in about Harry Potter, but I can just imagine. Yeah, there were other schools. I can imagine someone like with that war happening. It's not like guns wouldn't have worked. Well, I mean, guns would have worked just fucking fine. And I can just imagine someone busting out, let's see, it's the 90s, so it would have probably been an M16. Someone bust. Okay, actually, I actually know exactly what would happen. It was the same thing that would have happened in fucking Thor Ragnarok. You want to know what a gun in Hogwarts would have looked like? Go watch Ragnarok. When, what's his name? Carl Urban's character, comes out with the two M16s and just starts going fucking ham, and basically goes Doomguy on Hela's troops. That's how it would. Yeah, excuse me, thank you. Yeah, that's what would happen if you busted out a gun in Hogwarts. You'd basically have Doomguy. Hello, Dark Shadow Darklaw, welcome. It was Grindhouse.
They were all too busy banging each other and didn't realize what was going on.
What?
The Marsh.
Wait, what? They were all too busy what? What the fuck what the fuck are they talking about here? What? But they weren't. Yeah, I don't know. Like, Covenant is the one where they were all married couples. I don't remember the busy banging each other in Prometheus. I don't fucking know. Like, in Alien Covenant, yes, like it was a whole mess of couples that went on the mission, and 2 of them got killed while banging in the shower. But I don't remember that being a thing in Prometheus. Yeah. Okay, Silver, have a good night. Yeah, Prometheus, I think, yeah, it was like 1 fucking couple, and that was it. No, Prometheus didn't even have the facehuggers. Facehuggers wasn't until Covenant. Prometheus had, like, the proto-facehugger. Anyway.
The Martian. All 6 astronauts are fools.
Oh,
as are
God.
all the planners at NASA. If it were even remotely possible that the lander could be toppled in a Martian windstorm, the first order of business upon landing would have been to tie it down. Secure against such a threat, and Weir said he fudged the science on that. There's not enough wind on Mars, and he knew that, but he couldn't think of another way to strand his character, so he went with it.
You know what? As an author, I could buy him doing this excuse. Like, he basically took some artistic liberties and just rolled with it. If that is the one thing that he fucked up with the science, I'm okay with it. I'm okay, because yeah, Mars does not really have an atmosphere that would allow for anything beyond a light breeze. I'll allow it. That's the one science that he fucked up. He knew it, but he couldn't come up with a way. He couldn't come up with the means to get him walking stranded alone by himself. I will allow it.
Twilight. Stop staring at me, you vitamin D deficient creep done.
Yeah.
Labyrinth. At the start our protagonist.
Avatar at the end of the movie. Wizards used a gun.
What? Which Avatar are we talking about? There's too many, and yes, Shadow Dark, but I have written books. I've written about 13 books. They the links of them are down at the bottom of the in the about section of the stream.
Protagonist meets a bug and asks where to go, not where to get to the castle. The bug said to the right, and when she left the bug said, if you go to the left you will end up in the troll castle.
Wait, what? At the start, protagonist meets a bug and asks where to go, not where to get to the castle. Bug said go to the right. And when she went left, the bug said,
if you go to the left
you will end up in the troll castle. Huh. Okay.
you will end up in the troll castle. Remember when Star-Lord got mad and started smacking Thanos in the face?
Yeah.
We could have skipped Endgame TBH. The Matrix. If Neo...
Well, again, that was the whole thing of there was only one path that would lead them to beating Thanos, and so theoretically, if we believe Strange, if Peter had not done that, they
Harry
wouldn't have
Potter
won.
needs to take the crystal skull to Mordor in order to help the aliens start face-hugging people.
Neo had just taken the blue pill and lived out his miserable days like the rest of us.
Oh, yeah.
Lion King don't listen to Scar. Simba. He wants to be king through any means necessary, and nobody goes to that gorge to practice their oars. Thor 1. Thor, don't go fight the ice people. You also made Loki into a bad guy. Dumbus. Kurtwood Smith should have played Odin. John Wick.
Okay, that
no
was
need
worth
to
on
hurt
that.
the dog. The
Well,
Incredibles.
are we
had MR.
speedrunning this now?
Incredible just rolled with Incrediboy for a little bit, or taken the time to explain the actual situation. Hey, I'm sorry, but I can't take you along. I'm actually just doing a few good deeds before my wedding. Maybe we could hang out some other time, or more realistically, after the bomb voyage thing. This is why I can't have a sidekick. You almost died. I was barely able to save your life just now. I'm sorry, buddy, but I don't want you to get killed. Look, you've got talent, but you're too young right now.
Yeah. This right here. If Mr. Incredible had not been an asshole, you could have avoided the entirety of the movie. If he just simply not been an asshole. Oh, but Elwind, but you don't think that the way Mr. Incredible had treated it didn't contribute to that delusion? Do you think that maybe if Mr. Incredible had done this, had basically just talked to him and explained to him, listen, this isn't gonna work because I don't want you to get hurt, and showed him compassion, that he might not have turned into a supervillain? Huh? I know he was stressed out due to the wedding. I know. It's we're kind of ragging on it, but Pixar did The Incredibles pretty good. Mr. Incredible was a bit too much of an asshole when he saved Buddy, but you can also kind of understand it. Yeah. Okay, we'll let it ride, but yeah, basically if Mr. Incredible hadn't talked to him like an asshole, it could have avoided the whole movie. Alright. Well, we did it. We finished. Yeah, just one video today. Sorry, I didn't realize it was going to take me this long. I should have known, but I didn't realize it was gonna take me this long for this. I did kind of ramble.